Welcome to the Strategic Expert Show, where we bring real-world experience in marketing and sales direct to you. I'm Matthew Ashton. Today, we're going to be discussing business coaching and why it can make all the difference in your business and in your growth. Our expert today is going to be Cody Fontenot. Cody's career spans diverse fields, including beginning his service at the U.S. Air Force during 9/11 as an aircraft technician. He then transitioned over into the aviation industry, where he excelled as the youngest member of a prestigious maintenance team. Driven by a passion for growth, Cody then went on to earn his Doctor of Pharmacy degree and has led multiple pharmacies to greater degrees of success, including ranking number one at CVS in his district and achieving a 51% revenue growth at another company. Grounded in integrity, service, and excellence, Cody is certified in the 10X program under Grant Cardone, and now leads a dynamic business coaching company offering insights into marketing, real estate, health, wealth, and relationships. Cody, welcome to the show.
Hello, it's good to be here.
Awesome, man. So let's jump right into this. Kind of walk us through a little bit of your career. You've been in a lot of different industries and seen a lot of things, I'm sure.
Yes, that bio does a pretty good job. I didn't write the bio, to be honest. When I read the bio, I was like, whoa, hey, wow, I did a lot. But in a nutshell, I started life in the Air Force. I really love jets, love the military, love America. So it seemed like the right thing to do. Did it for a while. Once I was done doing it, I moved on. Stayed in the aviation field, but I quickly found out that that was not a good field. That was back in 2007, 2008. So that crash really hit the airline industry pretty hard. I decided to refocus my efforts and became a doctor of pharmacy. Pharmacy is not going to go away. Health is always going to be there. That's
Sure.
kind of the mindset. Once I did that for 10 years, I realized that I have so much more potential than just counting pills and handing them to customers. So from there, what I did is I kind of stumbled upon a guy named Grant Cardone. I don't know if many of your audience knows him. I know you know him because I met you there.
Yes.
But not everybody knows Grant yet, despite his best efforts.
He's working on it.
He's definitely working on it. And what he did is he kind of opened up he demystified what business is for me. He demystified it. I didn't even know what business was, to be honest. Now I have a pretty good clue of not only what a business is, but actually how to grow and how to generate more sales and how to make more income and make your revenue and get further in the field instead of starting to subside and getting overwhelmed by all the different things that businesses have to be overwhelmed by.
There's certainly a lot. There's certainly a lot to be overwhelmed by.
It's unending. It's constant. And then from there, I saw, again, Grant kind of introduced me to this model of real estate. I didn't even know you could buy real estate like that. Like, I didn't know you could buy apartment buildings. So when he introduced me to that, I went full on into it and started right here, GFC Cap. We fund deals. That's what we do. So
Nice.
If you like real estate, I'm definitely your guy to talk to for that.
Fantastic. Well, look, man, that's really, really awesome. And this 10X business coaching is something I wanted to talk to you about. Like you said, we met at one of the it was either the business boot camp or growth con. Can't remember which one. But we've seen each other at a couple of them.
Yep.
We're both big Grant Cardone fans. The 10X business coaching was something I was interested in, but I never really knew a lot about, which is why I was like, well, let's pick that as a topic today. I'd love to find out more about it, what you do, what it does. So let's kind of get into that. Like, what is 10X business coaching?
10X business coaching is basically you're going to learn advanced strategies and techniques. Okay. But you're going to go through a big chunk of training from Grant Cardone himself. It's about 2,000 videos. Each video you have to take a test. You have to pass at 100%. So it's a lot of information. It takes months to go through it all. And what that does is it really sets you up for being able to explain to business owners who don't know what you've just been trained on, the things that you've just been trained on. It also allows you to run not growth cons, excuse me, it's a little bit too big. It allows you to run the business boot camps, marketing and sales workshops. It lets you do those things. So you can really provide a lot of benefit to corporations in your area or corporations that are outside of your area.
Okay, so you've been well trained at this point.
I'm pretty well trained. Yes, sir. Fully
Okay.
certified, fully vetted. Everything is done.
So the next question I want to actually ask you is very similar to what Grant asks most of his speakers when he's on the stage at GrowthCon, which is what does 10x growth mean to you, especially in the concept of business, but what does 10x mean to you?
Oh, what a beautiful question. I love it when he asks those questions because a lot of those speakers, they're so big that they haven't really been introduced to the 10X mindset. This is what it means. It means your goals are simply too small. You need to be thinking bigger. And the reason that you need to think bigger is because it takes so much effort to succeed that if you're trying to succeed on something like this, it takes this much effort. So you're trying to succeed on this. Well, let's 10x this. Let's make this that big. It'll still take this much effort, but now you're going for something like this. Can I give you an example? Illustrate
Love one.
something?
Go ahead.
Perfect. Here we go. I got a client. Can we all agree that losing weight is a royal pain?
I'm in the
Nobody likes
middle
to lose.
of that journey right now, man, and it sucks every day.
It sucks. And it's a roller coaster. You lose 5, you gain 10, you lose 11, you gain 20. It's just okay. So what I suggested to her was you're looking at it the wrong way. You're looking at it as losing 10 pounds. Don't lose 10 pounds. What you're doing there is you're yo-yoing. What I want you to do instead is I want you to create an identity. I want you to set a goal that's so ridiculously high that you can never truly achieve it and then make that your identity. That's kind of the 10x mentality. So
Yeah.
she did. You know what she said? Now, this is a heavy set woman, okay?
Yeah.
This is not a spring chicken. She's heavy set. And you know what her goal was?
Hmm.
To become a marathon runner.
Hey, there you go. That'll work.
Now, watch, this is how it worked. So now she took on the identity of a marathon runner. So when she would be hungry, she would ask, hey, would a marathon runner eat this? When she's driving and she feels that pain and McDonald's French fries are right there, she would say, hey, would a marathon runner stop and eat that? Would a marathon runner do this or do that? If she's lazy and doesn't want to go to the gym, would a marathon runner go to the gym? So that's how she based her question and answers for herself. That's how she was able to keep accountability for herself. And guess what? She literally turned in to an actual marathon runner.
That's awesome, man. That's crazy. It's crazy how your mind works that way. It gets you totally put into that. And and people talk about manifesting and trying to do that, fake it till you make it, but I think that stuff actually works for the most part.
It does, but let me give you a tip. Now, this is not something that you'll hear with 10X. This is me.
Yeah.
I call it the push pull. You ready?
Okay.
If you're doing something and you feel pushed to do it, you're not going to go very far.
Yeah.
If you're doing something and you feel pulled to it, it could take you quite far.
Yeah.
Can I illustrate that real quick?
Go right ahead.
Perfect. Watch this. Why do most people start businesses?
To
It's
stop
to
working for
fire
somebody
their
else.
boss,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's a push. You're pushing your boss away. You're like, get out of here. I'm done with that. I'm going to do
Right.
my own thing. Well, what happens to those guys?
Most of them fail out. What's the rate?
Most
90% of businesses within 5 years?
60 something. These are
Yeah.
real businesses, all businesses. 98 at 10 years.
Yeah.
98 at 10 years. So what's the magic there? Why do they fail?
There's a plethora of reasons, I'm sure. But based on what you're saying, I think the biggest one you're going to say is that they're not invested in their business as much as they should be, and they're not working for a drive. They're not being driven. They're being pushed.
Exactly. They're being driven, but not being pulled into their destiny. They don't have an identity yet. They don't see what they're capable of accomplishing. You think Grant Cardone had any clue that he was going to be a billionaire?
No, and
No.
in fact, Elena's the one who made him do it because he didn't want to do it, and he got mad at her for it. I love that story because I get that when he gave that story example and he tells when Elena's like, you should be a billionaire, and he kind of got miffed, like, well, when is enough for you, thinking it was about her making money, not
Huh?
realizing she's like, no, you need to do it because you can do it. Like, I love their relationship. It's something to definitely aspire to, but
Right on.
he really
It's
didn't,
that
it
that
wasn't his
bird.
plan. It
No.
wasn't his plan for that. Undercover Billionaire wasn't his plan. He didn't want to do that either. And Elena pushed him to do it. It wasn't like, that wasn't stuff he was like thinking, oh, I'm going to go do this.
Mm-hmm. You got to go outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Look, one of the things that I teach is I call them comfort killers.
Okay.
CKs, comfort killers. If you have something that you're comfortable in, it's killing your dreams.
Yeah,
Killing them.
absolutely.
You have to go way outside your comfort zone, and not just once or twice, but continually. You have to keep pushing, keep expanding, keep learning, keep meeting new people, keep talking, keep doing podcasts and webinars. You just have to keep doing things that you don't want to do. And that's how you go further.
I think I heard a quote on that somewhere that said, like, everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of the thing that you're not doing. Like that thing, the thing you're avoiding. I'm not sure that's exactly how it goes, but that's the gist of it. That thing that you're putting off and going, oh, it's uncomfortable, I don't want to do that. The good thing's on the other side of that.
Yes.
So,
and then the next good thing, and the next, because you'll never get to that spot where you're happy.
Exactly.
You'll never be fully filled. You have to continue going and pressing.
Yeah, it really is the journey, not the destination. So,
oh gosh, that's actually where so many people get messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's look at who is the GOAT?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. He's known as the GOAT. How generic is that? And he's known as the GOAT.
Yeah.
But what's Tom Brady doing right now?
I don't know what he's doing at the moment.
He's crying in his bathroom. Like, he's in his bathroom right now and he's crying because he can't see the future. He doesn't understand that his best is actually yet to come. He's looking at the past.
Yeah.
And dude, that will suck you right back and you will be depressed.
And I know a lot of people who are like, oh, I want to get to $1 million in business or 100 million. They get there and they haven't planned for now what. And so then all of a sudden they start getting depressed and they start backsliding and start feeling like, I don't know what's going on, because they haven't planned for, well, once I hit 1, it's 10 and then it's 100. And then you really have to keep pushing.
Yes. But I would like to, now we're going to kind of segue a little bit, and I would like to teach, if you'd allow, something that's very, very important right here.
Okay. Shoot.
One thing that I teach a lot, I'm 10X, so clearly I teach money, right?
Absolutely.
I have a capital raising company. Clearly I teach finances, but I teach 3 things.
Okay.
Health, wealth, and relationships. Now I'm going to give you 3 examples and I want you to tell me which one sounds the best. When I ask which one of those 3 is the most important, most people tell me wealth, because they're chasing that first million or that first 10 or whatever.
Right.
Like, perfect. Let's do it. Let's set up a scenario. You got a guy. He's 42 years old. He's got 3 ex-wives, 4 kids. He's driving his Ferrari. Actually, Ferraris are kind of cheap now. Let's go something bigger. Koenigsegg.
Okay.
You guys know Koenigsegg or Bentley or whatever. Something ridiculous. Just a ridiculous car. He's 42. He has a heart attack. He goes to the emergency room. They put him in the hospital. His numbers are terrible. Everything is bad. Nobody comes to visit him in the hospital. One of his ex-wives come, and that's only because she's a good woman. So clearly the guy doesn't have relationships.
Yeah.
He doesn't have health, but he does have wealth. Does that sound like a good life?
Well, even at that point, the wealth can't save him. In that heart attack moment, I can get him a good hospital, but it may not reverse that heart attack. It may not reverse that situation.
Look at
and then the people who are showing up at the hospital are probably coming to see if he's going to die so they can get the money, inherit the money from him.
Steve Jobs. How rich was Steve Jobs? What happened? He's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
we're all going to be that way.
We're all, that's destined for all of us. But wealth is definitely not the answer to those 3. Okay. Yeah. About health. If you're healthy, is that better?
I think it is. I think it's a precursor to wealth for sure.
Definitely. That's part of it. That's why I'm teaching all 3. Health is definitely part of it. But let's look. You got a guy who's 92 years old.
Yeah.
He lives by himself. He doesn't have any money. The doctors don't understand why he's so healthy. He's probably going to live another 20 years, to be honest. So he's got health, but he doesn't have wealth and he doesn't have relationships. How does his life look?
Well, I would argue that if he doesn't have relationships, he's not going to make it that 20 years. because the
Okay,
science
I
does
agree.
show that without the relationships and without the people there, like that's why the people in Okinawa live so long, is they have these community centers where all the
Right,
old people are hanging out together and spending time. And
right.
nursing homes are done very differently there. They're more like a community center, not the nursing homes we have today where everybody's segregated in their little rooms and basically alone.
100%. So I'll re-ask the question, does that sound like a good life?
No, that's lonely, and loneliness will kill you too.
Okay, perfect. So health isn't right, wealth isn't right. Let's look at relationships. There's a 32-year-old woman. She's got 3 kids. She lives paycheck to paycheck. She has one husband. She has cancer. She is in the hospital. While she's there, entire communities come to visit her. Not just her church, but other churches come to visit her. I mean, it's just amazing how many people are showing up for this. So she does not have health and she does not have wealth, but she does have relationships. Now, which one of those three? None of them are good, but which one of those three sounds the best?
Of the three, the relationship seems to be the one that's going to make the biggest difference.
Relationships, hands down, there's no comparison. So, what I teach is, of course, finance. You have to have finances to survive,
Yeah.
but you can do even more and have finances to actually influence other people and help other people along their path. Health, you have to be healthy. You just have to. And then relationships, that's actually the key. If you have those beautiful, solid relationships, you could lose the other two and still be good.
Yeah.
But if you don't have those relationships, no matter how much health or wealth you have, you're not going to live a fulfilled life.
And I think a lot of that comes down, those other two really do stem from that. I
Mm-hmm.
looking at my own life, like my own health journey right now is because of a family relationship I have where I saw one of my family members absolutely crush his first NPC bodybuilding competition. Like his wife posted pictures and I was like, this guy went from already pretty fit to jacked. And so I immediately called him and I said, hey dude, can you introduce me to your trainer? So the relationships allowed me to now have a trainer that I know has gotten good results because somebody else knew him that I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I was reading I think I was reading Trump's Think Big book, and he was saying if he'd ever lost everything, what he would do is he'd get into like an MLM business. If he would just start over today from ground zero, he'd get into an MLM and he'd crush it. And all MLMs are is business networking. It's who do you know, who do you connect with? Like that is what drives business. If you don't know anybody, it's really hard to get your business off the ground.
If they don't know you, they can't flow you.
Exactly. There's a good Grant Cardone quote. All right, man. So you got a great program. The way you teach is absolutely phenomenal. What type of businesses work best with this? What type of businesses do you work with? Have you seen success with within the program and other people have had success with? Like, what does this really fit for?
This fits businesses who are teachable. That's a big one. A lot of
That is
people,
a
because
huge one.
that's a big one. A lot of people, when they're business owners, they're already kind of alpha. They're type A. They want to get it done. So, like, who's going to teach me?
Yeah,
Well, you don't know what you don't know.
that is one of my absolute favorite quotes of all time. Is you don't know what you don't know.
Right. And luckily for us is right now, coaches are kind of a trendy thing.
Yeah,
Like if you go in a group like, oh, who coach are you? Or who? Or look at you. Your very family members like, oh, who's doing your stuff? I want to do it too.
yeah.
So coaches are becoming better and better fit for our communities. Now, the people that I like to work with, number one, hands down, you have to be teachable. Hands down. If you're not teachable, I will cut the contract and I'll give you your money back. Goodbye. I'm out.
Which is smart. It
Because
won't work. It's
it
you're
won't
going to be
work.
butting your head against the wall. It's not going to be
And
good.
I don't butt my heads on the wall. My goal is I like slick, smooth, and efficient. I want to be able to walk in, hit ABC, 1, 2, 3, smooth on out of there. The next time I see you, everything I just gave you, you've already implemented it. It's working for you. You love it. You're ready for some more. Give me, give me, give me. Baby, I got stacks. I will give you. I will give you.
Awesome.
And then that relationship builds again, it's not just business.
Yeah.
Business is important, finance is important, but I want to go further. I want to go into the dynamics of your team. I want to get you guys to understand that you're working as a team. If there are people who are going against you inside of your team, you need to get rid of them. Like
Which there
black and
are.
white.
I think
There are
the numbers state what, like 10% of your employees are actively trying to destroy your company.
18%.
There you go. You knew the number. That's so
18.
high. That's one in five people.
1 in 5.
1 in 5 people who
So,
work for you. If you got a company of 100 people, you're literally sitting there with 18 people actively trying to destroy your company. Not even that they don't
yes,
care. They're willing to burn their job to the ground.
yes,
It's so
100%
crazy.
yes. And it's getting worse, not better,
Yeah,
with this new generation of workers coming out.
absolutely. It's
The
definitely getting
complacency
worse.
is the complacency is just through the roof right now.
Exactly.
So I like working with teams. I like working with business owners or executives who understand what we're trying to do. They understand that they want to grow and they want to get bigger. We give them a lot of tools, but I'll tell you what the danger is. Here's the danger. Everybody wants the sexy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everybody, what's the best landing page? Oh, what's
Yeah,
the best
it's
this?
always the hack, the tip, the
The
scripts.
hack. It's the hack. And I have to tell you, the hack is not what drives the business.
It
Not at all.
doesn't. And even if it does, it's a short spike and it crashes shortly after.
Right. Short-term gain, long-term loss. So
Yeah.
you have to focus on the thing that we don't like to say, the fundamentals.
Right?
When you have the fundamental, look at all of your sports. I like to give analogies, right? When I'm doing my coaching, and different
Absolutely.
people resonate with different things. I like sports personally. Most of my clients like sports as well.
Most people do. Yeah.
Business is no different than sports.
Right.
None. If you want to be competitive, you have to compete and you have to train. If you don't train, you're not going to be competitive. End of story.
I think that's a big failure in business is most people don't train. They get in and do their job, but they don't train.
People don't realize they have to train. People think that if they're good at what they do, they're going to be successful. And let me tell you, that is the biggest, fattest lie I can tell you. Here's the truth. You have to continually train and continually go outside of your comfort zone and continually move forward, continually, while maintaining that fundamentals that you're just carrying through with yourself. You have to do that. Here's an example. I know a person here in town. She is arguably the best cook I've ever had.
Yeah.
Like, I could eat, be full, go to her house, and still eat again. She's that good. She
You're going to
opened
have
a
to introduce
restaurant.
me.
Well, you would love her, dude. I promise you, you would love her. So she thought that it'd be a good idea to do a restaurant. It makes sense. She's good at that art. So
Yeah.
she's going to do business. Turns out, what do you think happened?
Oh, there's a very big difference between running a business in a restaurant and cooking food. Very big
Yes.
difference.
And it's not just limited to food and restaurants, it's anything with art. If you're like, let's say you're the best welder and you're going to start your own business, great. But how are you going to get your business growing?
Yeah.
You're probably going to fail. And you're probably going to fail within 2 years.
I literally told an attorney this recently. She's been working at another firm. She used to work at a firm I was at, and she's gone out on her own. And so she was hitting me up for some tips and, hey, what do you think? And I'm like, I'm just going to let you know, like, the hard part of this is not going to be the law. You're a good attorney. Where you're going to struggle is all the other stuff you now have to be, because now you're not just an attorney. Now you're an accountant. Now you're a salesman. Now you're a marketer. Now you're all these things because you don't have a team yet. And
Yep.
those are where you're probably going to drop the ball, because you know how to do your craft really well.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to make sure these other things go.
Yep. She's an artisan in the law.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean she's a good business owner.
Correct. Because they're very, very different things. And so I think she'll have good opportunities. And she's very, like you said, she's very coachable. And I think that makes the difference is she asks a lot of questions, and attorneys are good at this. But real quick, going back to what you said about training, because that occurred to me too when we're talking about lawyers. I'm sure as a pharmacist, you had this as well. Like any high level professional, doctors, dentists, lawyers, sports professionals, those guys train every day. The NFL
Yes.
guys don't walk out on the field on Friday and having sat around Monday through Thursday. They've trained every single day. They've worked with coaches, with trainers in preparation for that time when they do it.
Yes.
When I was a sign language interpreter, there was continuing learning education credits. We had to take classes in interpreting constantly. Doctors do this. Lawyers have continuing education credits, but most businesses don't. Most businesses don't
Oh,
have continuing education credits, which they should.
yep. I'll tell
So,
you, most businesses get comfortable.
yeah,
Remember what happens with comfort?
you
Comfort
stop growing.
kills. Comfort kills.
That
It
has
doesn't
killed
just
my
stop
business
growth.
multiple times, man.
It kills.
It
Comfort
does.
kills.
I get up to a certain revenue point and I'm like, hey, I'm doing good. This is great. I'm going to be serving my clients, and I stop selling. And all of a sudden, one client might leave, or I may part ways with somebody. Somebody doesn't have the budget anymore. And all of a sudden I'm back down to a really low amount of money and kind of going, crap, I got to get my stuff together and get back out there and hustle. So I've learned that, and I've stopped allowing myself to get comfortable. Every time I'm like, hey, this is a good amount of money, it's like, no, we're going further. We're not stopping no matter what happens.
Yes, you've learned it. Thank you for learning. Thank you
I,
for being teachable,
I bumped
self-teaching.
into that wall a few times before I learned that lesson. I will say that, though. There was a roller coaster for a lot of years.
Well, yeah, we don't like what do we want to be? I'll tell you what humans want. We want three things. We want to be full, pampered, and entertained.
Absolutely.
All three of those are comfortable.
Yep.
There you go.
Our minds seek that naturally.
Oh my gosh. And then with Netflix and Hulu and all the other amazing entertainment that's out there, it's so hard to stay focused on your craft. Absolutely. And on your business and all the things that you need to do that you're not yet doing.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. So you said you wanted to come into a business and have it be slick and easy and everything. So let's talk about talk me through that process, that initial assessment, the strategy. Like, how do you work with a company to make sure that process is as seamless as you can?
Perfect question. We only got about 5 minutes left, so I'll be short. First, we have a conversation. It's a strategy call where we just briefly go over what I can do for you, just some basics, and what you're looking for. The whole fact finding, DBL, dominant buying motive, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And once I'm satisfied with the fact finding, then we take it to a face-to-face meeting. At the face-to-face meeting, it could be Zoom or it could be actual face-to-face. Once we're there, then I'm going to have an actual questionnaire.
Okay.
And with that questionnaire, we're going to assess your level of business right now. And it's a pretty invasive questionnaire. Like, this is not something that's simple.
Right.
It's not 10 questions. It's a lot of questions, and we're digging. We're looking for problems is what we're doing.
Right.
And when we identify the problems are where you should not turn your face from. Problems are where you should actively attack. A lot of big corporations call those opportunities. And I hate that, but they're absolutely right.
It is true.
It is true. So once we find those opportunities, then we start aggressively attacking them. And then while we're building up all the fundamentals, we're also training you on health. I'm a pharmacist. I can help you out a lot with that.
Right.
And then the relationships. I haven't even begun to talk to you about the relationships yet.
We'll get into. I think we want to do multiple podcasts with you, man. We're going to get into each one of these areas. We could dive into this for hours at a time. So we're definitely going to have you back for sure. I know you're limited on time today, and I appreciate you making the time, but for sure we're going to get into these other areas, and we're definitely having you back.
All right, bro. Glad to serve your people.
No, you've done phenomenal, man. This is what I want people to get out of this. Like, 10X business coaching is the next level. It is what's going to help your business get in line. Cody is a great resource for this. He's absolutely wicked smart. He's been through a lot of stuff. He's been a good friend of mine now for, I think, a couple of years now at this point.
2 years.
Yeah. It's been a wonderful ride. I always try to snag him at a 10X conference if I can, but Cody, it's great. Where can people find you? Where can they connect with you?
Most of my connection is through text messaging and the phone.
Okay.
I do have social media. I don't really utilize my social media too much. We're about to hit, again, comfort. We're about to get the next step of the social media and get that going forward. The best place, how do you deliver this information?
So this is going to be going out on YouTube, Facebook, across the whole social media platform. I know you and I talked about getting up a little landing page, so we'll definitely include that in the show link, in the show notes, within YouTube. So that way people can click that and just get right to you.
Absolutely. I will give you my landing page where people can connect. And I'm also going to give you guys some free stuff. It's not free. Don't take it as free. I'm going to bless you with some information that I've learned that is truly incredible.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. I know you got to run, but I appreciate you being on today. I learned a lot from you already. I definitely want to continue these conversations down the road here too. I think this is going to be phenomenal. So really, really appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Likewise. Thanks a lot for the invite. Look forward to the next time we get to hang out.
Sounds good. We'll talk to you next time, man.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Bye.